Hey, this is going to be a bit of a different and much, much longer cold open than we usually do, but please bear with me. Did you know that I have a strawberry birthmark on the side of my head? I did, but you've just learned something new about my body. Recently, I've learned a lot of new things about my body, and I'm going to share a bunch of it with you now. Please, sit down. Come with me on this journey. Oh, and hey, content warning. I'm going to be talking. Can you hold the prompter up? There you go. There we are. Awesome. I'm going to be talking about medical stuff. Nothing graphic, but I understand if that's not something that you're like into. Don't worry, there is still a full normal episode of Loading Ready Live happening after this. But first, it's me and my fantastic voyage, all of which is true. But I'm presenting it like this because comedy is my coping mechanism, and importantly, because the end result is quite positive. If this was dire, I maybe wouldn't be as jovial about it. People in their 30s, as I am, will happily tell you that sometimes you go to sleep in a soft yet supportive bed, a piece of furniture designed for this purpose, wrapped in warm blankets with your head resting on a breathable pillow, and you spend your glorious slumber only to wake up in the morning and have your body say, "You did it wrong." Maybe you slept with your neck at a weird angle or moved your shoulder funny. Sometimes you just wake up and your muscles are mad at you. This is what happens to me a few months ago. I wake up and one of my obliques down here is pissed off. It aches all the time. It hurts to go from prone to standing. And this is funny. I can happily breathe in and out deeply without issue, but short breaths, the kind of sharp inhale that precedes specifically a sneeze, hurts like hell, to the extent that my body just stops sneezing. Did you know that could happen? I'd breathe in and the pain would be so bad that my brain just says, "No, we're not doing this right now." Meaning it sounded like this. Ah! I never thought I'd miss being able to sneeze. So after a few days of that, I go see a physiotherapist. He figures that this was actually referral pain from something in my lower back. Now that just makes a silly amount of sense because not only am I in my 30s, but my job often involves sitting with horrible posture at a desk. And I've just spent 2 years not really moving much. You got me. I'm bad at having a skeleton and muscles, and the two of them are mad at one another. That thing stopped moving. That's fine. I'll just read off of here. As the pain develops in the lower back, it gets bad. Like waking up at 4 a.m. in pain and a puddle of sweat. Bad. I can't even get back to sleep without the merciful chemical intervention of off-brand back pain relievers with their methocarbamol for muscle relaxing and ibuprofen for pain. The keyboard's in the hallway if you're curious, Paul. With repeated visits to the physio and a plethora of stretches and movements to do 3 times a day, the back pain starts to get better. That's when the stomach pain starts. It's a weird pain, like an anxious pain without the anxiety. I managed to see a doctor at a clinic, and he tells me, this is fascinating, that recent studies have shown that taking daily ibuprofen for longer than 5 days in a stretch can lead to microbleeding in the stomach. And I've been taking 1 or 2 of those muscle relaxers with ibuprofen every day for 5 weeks. So it sounds like by trying to relieve my back pain, I've ruined my stomach. But we can deal with this. We adjust my diet to things that are easy on the stomach. Rice, toast, applesauce, so much congee. Nothing acidic or fatty, and obviously no more ibuprofen, which is fine because the back is feeling better now. And then it starts feeling worse again. My physio figures the lower back is now hurting because it's helping support the pain from the stomach. So I've demonstrated a loop, and my body is attempting to concede the match. Very cool. Spoilers, eventually we find out none of that is actually the problem. My stomach isn't bleeding, my back muscles are fine. So why am I in pain? Well, I wake up one Saturday, and despite over a month of incremental improvement from yoga stretches, my back hurts worse than it ever has. I can barely do the stretches. Hell, I can barely get out of bed. Also, I'm itchy for some reason. The back pain does not abate. So the next day, Kathleen rightly says, we're going to the emergency room. British Columbia's healthcare system is under an immense amount of strain right now. They are understaffed and overworked, and I have a tremendous respect for all of them. That said, waiting 10 hours in the ER on Sunday is not my ideal way to spend the weekend. But it's understandable because they work in a triage system. It's not first come, first serve. People with more serious issues jump up the queue, and my complaint is, my back hurts. So it takes a while before they get to me. We finally see the ER doctor sitting with us in the room where they put casts on people because they're so short of space. And she tells me she's not going to give me opiates. I hadn't asked for any, but we have a bit of an opioid crisis here, so I don't blame her for thinking that I've come to the ER complaining about random back pain in the hopes that she's going to get me hecked up on hydromorphone. I say, I don't want any opiates. I want to know what's wrong with my back. After which she takes my intentions a bit more seriously. And even though she can't find anything physically wrong, she figures, they ought to do a blood test. After the blood test, which shows elevated liver enzymes, she's even more curious and tells me to come back in the morning for an abdominal ultrasound. So I go back in the morning. And I'll tell you what, let's just switch over here. So I go back in the morning. I get my belly slathered in gloop. I get scanned, and then I get told to wait in the ER for the results. After another 4 hours of waiting in the emergency room's most comfortable chairs, a doctor arrives. Not an ER doc, and says the ultrasound wasn't conclusive. And he's going to book me for a CT scan, and right away. He stands there, thoughtfully going over my chart, and with the same intonation as someone casually ordering ice cream flavors, maybe I'll try pistachio next time. He says, could be some kind of a cancer. Again, utmost respect for all the many nurses, technicians, and doctors I have now dealt with over the past months, but my brother in Asclepius, you can't just drop the C-bomb like it's nothing. I won't bore you with a deep dive on our emotions in that moment, but it wasn't great. So I get a CT scan, not to be confused with an MRI, where you lie on a bed and they slide you into a giant tube. No, a CT scan is where they lie you on a bed and they slide you back and forth through a big donut. Also, they put stuff called contrast into you through an IV that lets the scan actually see what's going on inside your body. And the side effect of the contrast is you feel like you've pissed yourself. Thankfully, they warn you about this, but yeah, it makes you feel warm in the groin like you've just wet your pants. Very odd. Anyway, the doctor says the result of the CT scan is, we should do a liver biopsy. So, update, still not doing great. I return the next day for the liver biopsy, which is, without exaggeration, one of the least pleasant experiences of my life. The doctor does his best to make me feel comfortable. He even mercifully warns me that, and I quote, the needle makes a loud noise. A noise he then kindly demonstrates. It sounds like a whip crack. You see, the needle itself looks exactly like a tube of caulking compound, and it goes way, way into you, grabs a little bit of, in this case, liver, and then snaps it back out. I won't explain further. Suffice to say it was awful, but I do manage to hold still enough that he says he only needs to do it once. Thank goodness. We head home and wait for the results, and I pass that time by having weird belches. Like real weird belches. You know how sometimes you'll burp and taste something you just ate? This was like tasting things I ate hours ago, even if I'd eaten different things since then. Also, I could only burp if I was standing or sitting straight up. Otherwise, they just build up and actually bloat my stomach. If you can believe it, it gets more awful over the next days. So back to the emergency room. After the requisite waiting period, because again, my complaint is basically, I'm burpy and it's gross. So someone with a broken arm is going to correctly be seen ahead of me. We get brought to an assessment room, and instead of an ER doctor, it's the same doctor who gave me the CT scan and ordered the biopsy. Turns out when something is legit wrong with you, stuff can move quickly. He figures my back pain, my stomach issues, and my elevated liver enzymes are all connected, hand in hand, brought together by the mandatory 9 a.m. stand-up meeting. That is cancer. Yes, the diagnosis, some kind of lymphoma in my abdomen. For your frame of reference, this is still over a month ago, so stick with me. The next step is for them to forward my information to the place that actually treats cancer, the British Columbia Cancer Clinic, who will get a hold of me when they get to it. Of course, this is happening on a Friday afternoon before a long weekend. So the cancer clinic won't be back in the office until Tuesday, meaning we have a super relaxing weekend ahead of us until we can call them the moment they're open and ask what our next steps are. As for my weird belching, the whole reason I actually came into the ER that day, for now they recommend I try a liquid diet and see what the cancer clinic says. Liquid diet, we can do that. We get some of those meal replacement milkshakes, stuff to make smoothies, no problem. The belching still happens, but we're managing. Only kind of managing, because I'm definitely not getting all the nutrients I need. And at a certain point, I can't even keep the liquid diet down. So that's Sunday. It's back to the ER. And I'll admit, I don't want to go back. Not because I was doing like a stereotypical man thing of trying to walk it off. I feel so rotten that the notion of spending further hours continuing to feel rotten in the uncomfortable chairs at the ER was the least exciting thing I'd ever heard of. I don't want to move. But Kathleen and my parents persist because, frankly, I look like shit. Not only had I basically not eaten anything of note for days, but I was also yellow. Did I mention I was yellow? My skin and eyes were yellow. You know jaundice, that thing that happens to literal babies? It was that. Those elevated liver enzymes I mentioned? Yeah, that's why I was itchy all over, and it also makes you yellow. Yes, everyone's favorite liver enzyme, bilirubin, which definitely sounds like the name of a disgraced children's entertainer, and I never want him to come near me again. When we eventually get seen to the ER, which is faster than before because, hey, I literally can't eat or drink, carries more weight than, ooh, my back. They first hook me up to an IV with some saline, and then eventually saline with electrolytes, which, as we know, is what plants crave. The same doctor who's seen me previously returns to give me the rundown, and this part fascinates me. All my recent problems, the back, the liver, the stomach, are physical issues caused by this cancer growth. A lymphoma is made of lymphocytes, white blood cells, gathering near lymph nodes, in this case, in my abdomen, and the process of making room for themselves, they're literally just bumping into stuff. The growth is pressing on my spine, making my back hurt. It's pressing up into my liver, making bilirubin and his friends freak out. It's pressing down on my duodenum, the first section of the small intestines, literally squeezing it like a balloon, meaning that food and liquids can't leave my stomach. Which explains why, at 11 p.m., I threw up the last of the smoothie I'd eaten for breakfast. And I only share that gross detail with you because when I handed the little cardboard barf bowl to a nurse, she looked at what I'd produced and asked me with a noticeable waver in her voice, how long have you been vomiting blood? Before I explained, no, it's just mixed berry smoothie. Interesting fact, cancer treatment is actually almost totally outpatient stuff. You stay at home and you go into the clinic every 3 weeks. You don't usually stay in hospital for it. But because I couldn't eat, they decided to admit me to hospital because one cannot fight cancer if one is not otherwise healthy. Of course, there's no open beds in the hospital for a variety of factors, so I get to chill out overnight in the ER in one of their weird oversized recliners, most of which are broken, but at least I'm getting electrolytes. During that night, I don't sleep much. It's pretty hard to sleep under those circumstances, especially when you're attached to an IV. So I just hear a lot of hospital PA announcements, most of them asking housekeeping to come and clean up the assessment rooms between patients, which all sound fine until I hear one request that specifies just a standard cleaning, implying that the others were somehow not standard. The second best PA announcement I hear was trauma team to the trauma room, trauma team to the trauma room, which is like, how did they get out? Who let the trauma team out of the trauma room? But the best announcement I hear all night, I promise you this is a direct quote. I wrote it down immediately, including the pause between activating the PA and speaking, was, can we get Karen into isolation, please? So many questions, no answers. Late the next morning, I do get an actual bed. In a room designed for 2 beds, I am the 3rd bed, right near the window, facing away from the window. It's still the long weekend. We don't know what the cancer clinic is going to say, but the doctor who's acting as the line of communication between us is pretty sure that, this dude can't eat is going to be enough to make sure that I'm taken care of sooner than later. In the meantime, he wants to give me steroids and a feeding tube. The steroids are to help reduce the mass of the lymphoma until chemotherapy treatments can start, and the feeding tube is so I live long enough to see that happen. Oh, cool. This one's working again. I get knocked out. I get knocked out for the feeding tube insertion because they aren't sure how it's all going to work since it needs to go all the way down my stomach and past the obstruction in the duodenum. So they also have to send a camera down to check it out. I swear I'm in the middle of asking them a question when I black out. And then I remember a 3-second long dream of being asked to arrange Duplo bricks in my mouth, and I wake up 2 hours later with a tiny little plastic tube running up my nose, through my sinuses, down the back of my throat, past my stomach, and into my intestines. Over the next several days, I get drip-fed a beige soup that's essentially just a Boost meal replacement milkshake, but medical this time. Still made by Nestle. Around this time, we get more information on just what the hell kind of cancer this is, leading to one of the most tonal whiplash-inducing sentences I have ever heard from a medical professional or anyone, and I will remember it forever. Quote, "Good news, it's aggressive." Here's the thing. There are many different kinds of cancer, and lymphoma is just one of them. But there are further different types of lymphoma. Some are slow-growing, which is treatable, but not necessarily curable, and typically those come with a life expectancy. The fast-growing ones, like I have, are unstable because they're growing so fast, so they're more susceptible to being messed with by chemotherapy. But still, good news, it's aggressive. Holy crap. After that bombshell, one of my roommates, an 83-year-old man with an unplaceable accent, says to Kathleen and I, "Forgive me, I could not close my ears. I heard what you are dealing with. May I pray for you?" I said I'd like that very much. He immediately asks my name and prays aloud to God and Jesus for my swift and total recovery. And folks, I'm not religious. It's well and good to ask Jesus to take the cancer out of me. I'd just as soon he not have put it there in the first place. But this friend is religious. This means something to him, and I still just think it was a really wonderful and kind gesture. Pretty soon after that, I moved to a proper room in the cancer ward, and I get my first chemotherapy treatment. It doesn't hurt or anything. In fact, I fall asleep partway through. I don't know what I thought or expected chemotherapy to be, but it's just, it's anticlimactic. It's just some fluids they put in you through an IV. More on chemo later. I am, as ever, much more interested in talking about food. Every 4 hours, my feeding tube automatically flushes with saline, and I obviously can't taste it, but it moves so fast that the drip of brown, so much faster than the drip of brown slurm, that I can feel the sensation of cold rushing through my nose and throat, and it's weird as hell. Over the course of the prior couple weeks, I had, in the least healthy way possible, lost my pandemic weight, plus extra, and while I'm no longer hungry, thanks to my constant dose of latte-colored slime, I miss eating. I just want to eat. So, to test the waters for how I'll handle real food, they approved that the hospital kitchen can start me on the diet they call clear fluids, which means the man comes by at breakfast time with a tray that contains a knife, a fork, a spoon, packets of salt and pepper, and a box of apple juice and a cup of black coffee. I'm just happy to be ingesting something that isn't ice chips. And more importantly, it stays inside me. So after a full day of that, they moved me up to the full fluids diet. Now, I don't know what communication issues happened, but somebody in the kitchen interprets this patient can't keep food down as this patient has trouble swallowing, which is why I start getting given the thick fluids. Thickened fluids are used for patients with dysphagia who might choke on normal water, but the thick water, like say thickened to the texture of shampoo, is something they can handle. For me, it is awful. Not the thick water as much. That's just mostly tasteless. Even the thick apple juice isn't terrible. It just tastes like the filling in a gas station pastry. Like, honestly, the filling in a Hostess fruit pie without the apple chunks. So it's passable. No, the worst is the thick milk. Oh, that's just Go-Gurt, Graham. No, it's not. Because this is 1% milk with a thickener. So it's texturally thick while still tasting thin. It's a uniquely awful drinking experience. Not helped by having to sort of slurp it from the side of my mouth because the feeding tube is taped to my nose. But I consume the thick milk because I want to prove I'm ready to move up to real food. But not before the next step, the soft and pureed diet. Cream of wheat, mostly. Or oatmeal that I'm able to make palatable by the kind nurses giving me extra brown sugar packets. But I do have a brainwave. If they're giving me coffee and milk, can I ask someone to bring me a coffee shop latte? After clearing that with a nurse, Kathleen brings me one, and folks, it's the best damn latte. Once I move further back up to full food, the final test is showing that I could not only keep it down, but pass it out. So the doctors and nurses are repeatedly asking me, have you pooped yet? Which makes sense. They got to make sure I'm not also constipated on top of anything else. But the beige soup had not been what you would call filling, so there hasn't been anything to poop. When it finally happens, I feel like I am lighting the beacons in Return of the King. Hit the call button to tell the attendant, to tell the nurse, to tell my doctor that I've created stool. And I delight in telling you it was number 4 on the Bristol scale because I know my Bristol stool scale and I had to describe the poop. All in all, I'm in hospital for over a week and a half where I learn a lot about cancer and its various medications and that cable TV is absolutely awful and it has been ruined for me by streaming. Holy crap, it is so bad. Rob Lowe hosts a game show where contestants have to answer basic-ass trivia while being whipped around the room at G-forces by the giant robotic arm they're strapped to, and that is somehow a bad show. But mostly I learn about cancer and the treatments I'll be getting and all of their potential side effects. There are goddamn so many side effects, but the doctors know them all. And so they have a battery of medications they give you ahead of time and during to counteract them all. Well, not all of them. See, I had to ask the oncologist this because I'm aware of get chemo and then hair falls out, but that's the extent of what I know. So, like, why and when? Here's the simplified science. Buckle up. Chemotherapy is essentially mildly radioactive anticellular poison that attacks fast-growing cells. Most importantly, the cancer, which in my case is a mass of just way too effing many white blood cells that the body doesn't need right now, who've all decided to hang out in my abdomen and poke random other parts of my body within their reach. Other fast-growing cells, the friendly fire in this scenario, include, well, the good kind of white blood cells. Meaning I'm immunocompromised right now. Various things in my mouth, so I have to use a toothbrush softer than goose down. The platelets, the things what do clotting, so I'm going to bruise more easily, and if I cut myself, is going to bleed. And of course, my hair follicles. I actually thought it'd be gone by now, but I've had my second chemo treatment yesterday, so they figure it'll probably start to go next week. So advance warning for that. You may not see me on camera for a bit while I get used to my new head and face. Yeah, the beard's probably going too. I haven't seen my chin since 2009. That's going to be interesting. Wonder if the cleft is still there. Also, my poop is mildly radioactive now, and Alex has threatened to loan me a Geiger counter, so maybe that's internet content. Hey, speaking of LRR videos and all this stuff, this all happened very quickly. And I've given you some rough idea of how quickly, but please don't try to internet detective this and pin down specific dates and so forth. Crack-a-Pack was always going to go on hiatus after episode 100. We decided that ages ago. My voice sounded rough in that checkpoint update because I've been recording a bunch of other stuff that day. You don't know the whole story. The whole story are Paul's videos anyway. So please, for my continued mental well-being, do not speculate upon me. One other actionable note, and not to dunk on the U.S. healthcare system specifically, but I know that at least a vast statistical majority of our viewers are from the U.S., so a reminder, this is all happening in Canada. Breaking Bad wouldn't happen here. Between Canadian healthcare and the Loading Ready Run employee plan to cover my medication, the most money we have spent is on parking at the hospital and so many unconsumed meal replacement milkshakes. I could just tell you my PayPal if you ask nicely, but please, nobody set up a GoFundMe or anything. We are fine. And you're all caught up. As I've said, I already had my second chemo yesterday. And the only reason I can do this now is because I'm still riding high from more steroids. Tomorrow, I'll be exhausted. 4 more treatments in the coming months, and I'll be cancer-free. I said at the top that this was quite positive, because obviously it's tough to be 100% positive when you have cancer. But I'm super confident and optimistic, and more relevantly, so are the doctors. I've already been responding very well to the first treatment, and there is no reason not to believe that I will beat this. I've already received massive support from my friends and coworkers here at Loading Ready Run, and I know you smartasses are already working on a way to craft a joke of whether I'm counting you as friend or coworker, and I mean both for all of you. Plus, of course, my friends outside of LRR, my parents, and most of all, Kathleen, who's been just amazing through this whole emotional roller coaster. Thank you, everybody. As for you watching this now and learning about it for the first time, I know for some of you there's going to be a desire to help, to do something. I will be okay. Hit me up on Twitter. Send me an email if you like, but you don't need to do anything. I just wanted you to know. I wanted you to hear it from me before I lost my hair. Next time you see me live on stream, I will show you that strawberry birthmark on the side of my head. Thank you for indulging me, but now please enjoy the rest of the show, because I'm alive and something's going to happen.
From near and far, young and old, people of every shape, ability, and gender, welcome to Loading Ready Live. Today on the show, we twist and turn and butter and churn in the Improv Maelstrom. We find the only place you can live rent-free in Get Out of My Head. We serve it up fresh and spicy in Hot Pepper Poetry. You know, I think my drawings are good enough for the fridge in the kitchen, mother. All this and more on Loading Ready Live, starting right now.
It's a variation on sitting, standing, leaning that we're calling inside, outside, in the tower. So from you, I need the name of a fantasy creature. Mic 5, I'm on. I'm mic 2. Oh, it's called Castle Moons a lot. I called it Castle Moons. It's in the moon base. No one else got it either.
I thought you said moose a lot.
Well, now it's Castle Moves a lot.
All right.
There goes my joke. I'm seeing so many wonderful, fantastical creatures, but I want to go with the Bumpaduke. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Yep. So, again, the rules are someone must be standing inside the castle, someone must be outside the castle, and someone must be up in the tower. I will jingle dangle the bell when the scene is done. Commence!
Jester,
Yes, my liege.
what say you on this eve of the waxing moon?
Well, I believe you said it was the day that we summon the beast.
The beast, you don't mean the Bumpaduke.
Oh, how dare you say his... I'm going to come down there and tell you... Hey! You can't say his name, my lord.
Why not?
Because if we say his name 3 times, we summon the Anti-Duke.
The Anti-Duke.
And it removes the Bumpaduke from this plane.
That's what we want. Hold on a second.
Wait, okay.
if we don't summon the anti-duke, then the other one's going to be... Look, this is going to be incredibly difficult if we don't just come out and say, the Bombaduke is coming.
The Bombaduke is coming.
The Bombaduke is coming.
The Bombaduke is coming.
The Bombaduke is here.
Oh,
I've arrived!
I thought you said this was going to summon the anti-duke. Where is the anti-duke?
well, hold on. Maybe he's down here.
I will be entering the castle and taking it for myself.
No, that's fine. I can come out there. Oh,
Aha! I've found a way inside!
Well, you'll never find a way up to the tower. It's impregnable. Isn't that right?
I'll need a good look from the outside, won't I?
hold on. Let me check. Yeah, it's still impregnable.
Well,
Perfect.
I'll do my best to come in there.
Damn it!
Let's see.
He's gotten through, my liege.
Oh, God, he's up here.
Out of the tower!
Flee!
That is my castle now! I am the Bombaduke.
Maybe I'll stop him.
Get back in.
As if you could remove me from the tower now that I have occupied it!
That's a good point.
Come on out here. Let's plan here.
Okay, yes,
Let's plan here.
yes.
Okay, you stay here.
No, but you have to go in there. Yes, yes.
Right.
Now, if we remove him from the tower,
Yes.
and we call out Anti-Duke 3 times,
Anti-Duke.
because we thought that saying the Bumpaduke would summon the Anti-Duke.
Correct,
And if we
correct,
say
correct.
the Anti-Duke 3 times, then that should get rid of the Bumpaduke.
All right. Well, I'll say the anti-duke, anti-duke, anti-duke.
Wait, no, don't summon the Anti-Duke! I'm sorry, I'll just leave! Here, you can have your tower back! I don't want it!
I don't think the anti-duke heard.
My liege, the door appears to be locked.
Come in.
Hang on, jiggle it a little. That's how I got in.
Hold on. Yep.
No, I'll come out here and
put your
help you.
leg-
I'll come out here and help you.
Yep, just put your leg right there, right there.
You fool!
It was fine all along! You fucked up so bad, bro!
I'm a piece of shit!
Yes.
Perfection.
Now, what he doesn't know is that isn't actually a real lawn, my lord.
What did you do to the lawn?
It is actually a big part of the moat all along!
Oh no, I'm sinking in the moat! Dirty medieval water, my only weakness!
Wonderful. I have to come and inspect that. It looks like lawn from up there.
I'll check how good you're inspecting from up here.
Good Lord, this is absolutely beautiful water here.
My liege! Oh no, it's dripping inside!
Oh no!
He's traveling along the water stream!
We have to get inside.
Well, only... oh no, he actually got outside too!
Part of me is still out there! Wait, no!
The door!
The part of me that's still out there!
Oh, thank God.
Thank goodness, I'm safe from the Bombaduke and my... You're just going to have to deal with him yourself.
Okay, well, he can't come up here. Shit, he went up there!
Now that I'm mostly water, I can go anywhere I want in the castle.
We've created something much worse, my liege.
We have
I am the Bumblewater! That sounds like garbage.
some sort of water duke?
Help me, yes, maybe a water duke?
Aquaduke.
Aquaduke! I am the Aquaduke!
Well, I'm ready for this, liege.
And thus, the Aquaduke took control of the castle. And now, we pivot our attention to an educational segment in the form of song. We are about to present to you educational songs about a castle. First, we will have a song called Bring a Taller Ladder. Thank you.
What do you do when your princess is up too high? What do you do when your princess has locks chopped off short like a guy? You need to climb the tower need to get yourself up there. Like a treble clef, not bass, that's down. You need to bring a big ladder. Then you can climb it up and grab her with consent. Then you can leave and live happily ever after.
Thank you. And welcome our next song, My Castle Has a Buttress.
My castle is not like all the others. My castle is full of smut. There's lewd things all around. There's lewd things on the ground. But one thing that I love the most, my castle has a buttress. I don't know what that is. I'm told that it's something kind of strange. My castle has a buttress, and that is not a shame.
Well done. And now, our crowning achievement, a duet, simply titled Murder Holes.
My friend, what are you doing so high up there?
I'm hiding from all of the death.
My friend, there's not much death around here.
I guess I'm not dead.
Now I'll come up to that tower and I'll bring you down. Oh God, I've fallen down into the ground.
It's a hole where you live until you're not living anymore.
You put this here, you sorceress, you gosh darn bore.
It's a hole where you spend the rest of your days.
Rest of my days.
Decomposing. It's like a grave, but it's a murder hole that you're in, and I'm up in the tower.
You do no longer have the power.
No!
I rise up from the hole. I'm coming up there. I grab you by the scruff, right by the hair.
I guess I'm going down.
Down
Down.
to the murder hole.
Into the ground.
You will be there. Your body and your soul.
Death.
Applause. Applause, everyone. Everyone. While we set the stage for our next performance here at the Castle Moons a Lot. Or Moons a Lot, depending on the cows. Fetch your lavage?
The moon.
We are going to play for you Oscar-winning moment, wherein each person will have their chance to show their acting chops. I will ding-a-ling on the bell during the scene and call a name, and they will get the spotlight. All of your attention and good vibes should be focused on them in this moment. From you, I need a word starting with B. I will wait here until they're... Yep, I see. A lot of Buttress fans in the chat. A lot of Buttress fans. I'm really happy I didn't pick my garderobe hangs over the moat. I think that would have gone really poorly.
It's a buttress.
It's one of those things that holds things up. It's a feature of architecture on a castle.
So it's a butt.
Kind of like if you pushed your butt against the castle to keep the castle up, that's a buttress.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
All right, we have bemused. Now I need a relationship. I need a relationship between two people. We're switching. It can still start with B. I don't know. Brothers, right. Okay, the brothers. They're bemused brothers. We go to the tale of the bemused brothers and begin.
It's been so long since I've seen another person beyond my brother.
'Tis but many years since we have seen another human being around these places.
How old are you?
I've been here, well, as long as you have. We both emerged uncut from our mother's wombs.
We're twins.
Yes, brother twins, not sister twins. It means we're identical and not fraternal, even though we are fraternal in the fact that we are brothers.
It's been so long since somebody else besides my brother was here to talk to me.
Do you remember the tale of our birth? There was tale that there was yet another.
What?
That came after us.
A triplet?
Yes, perhaps. Who knows? Mother was, well, an alcoholic and a liar, so she could have been drunk or she could have been lying. Point is that we have space here for yet another worker. Jester, wizard.
Hark! There's someone knocking on the tree outside of our castle.
Let's open the gates from our gated community.
Hello? Who is this ogre that approaches us?
I've heard that you are a long-lost family to me.
Oscar winning moment, Ian.
Long lost family. I don't believe it. Why? There was tell. I know. I heard it from my mother, who may have been drunk or perhaps lying, but I remember there was something there. Something about a birthmark. Check my ass.
Anything for you, brother.
What do you see? What shape doth it be?
A strawberry!
The kingdom! The kingdom of the the same one that you have upon your inner thigh.
My inner thigh, indeed!
Ogre!
Yes.
Doth you have a strawberry birthmark? You must!
Not where I've been able to see one, but the witch up the way says I got a right weird thing on my back.
We must check your hump. Hurry! Come to the castle!
Come on in.
And now,
We need our tools.
we must prepare the...
Oscar winning moment, Ben.
With this knife, I have longed to kill my brother. I have longed to hold the Strawberry Kingdom for my very own. But he won't know. Not today, my sweet, my tender knife. I've sharpened you every day. But perhaps it is our time together, our time, sweet. Yes, tonight we ride.
Is it a berry?
I've got a knife.
Yeah,
We should.
we can move away the clothing at least.
Yes.
Oh, that was me last good shirt.
Why, there it is.
By God, that's a strawberry. The legend was true.
Yes.
There are three brothers of us.
Yes, that is a a profound thing to discover.
Welcome! Oscar-winning moment, Beej.
Oh, what a wonderful day. You know, I've lived in haystacks and piles of muck and underneath a whole bunch of different horses. And I've been crapped on for all my life. And everyone said, you'll never amount to anything, Ogre. They all called me Ogre, you know. But now I look into the eyes of me two best new mates and realize we must be family. And in this kingdom or duchy or principality or wherever it is this is taking place, surely family lives above all.
I will not have another take this kingdom from me.
Not only have you killed our brother, but you've lopped off my ruling finger.
That is all I needed to do, brother. I am now solely in control. There is no one to prove that you are also one with this kingdom, and I will reign supreme.
If only there was a way to bring back the power. Oh, I've got two hands. Fuck off!
And there we have it, folks. Our tales of fantasy and castles for the eve. Now we take you to a faraway place, the Oak Bay Tea Party, for a pre-record. Hit it.
Hello and welcome to Loading Ready Run's semi-annual coverage of the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade.
That's right, Kathleen. Everybody wants to know who they are, where they go,
And why they're so loud. I'm Kathleen.
and I'm Ian. We're back, baby!
I'd like to thank our sponsors for this bit, the Oak Bay Pharmasave, who inexplicably did not learn their lesson from last time.
Let's hope they don't learn it this time.
Speaking of learning our lessons, as you can see, there's nothing going on behind us. And since we already made all those jokes last time we did this, let's go down to the street and see what's not going on down there.
Thanks, lovers. I'm here on Oak Bay Avenue for some reason. Not entirely certain why, but I'm happy to be out. And there's all sorts of people on the streets. As you can hear, the chaos is about to erupt. I'm a little concerned about what's happening. I'm just gonna here.
Hi, Serge here. Beej hit his head and doesn't know where he is, but the doctor cleared him and said, honestly, a little bit of stimulation is supposed to be good for him, so let's just let him have some fun, okay? Where did he go? Oh, God.
I'm casting my eyes out over the parade route right now, and it is absolute bedlam. Dogs and women running together, children unrestrained on the streets, and bicycles everywhere. Chaos, I tell you.
I'm actually pretty into that vibe, to be honest with you. The last time we did the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade, I don't recall there were quite so many dogs around. If you're a dog enthusiast, there's a lot of good dogs down on the street. You want to do a dog bit?
Thanks, Ian and Kathleen. I'm actively trying to find Beej, and he can't have gotten far. The poor confused... Oh, I found him. Beej? Time to get back to work, Beej.
Thanks, man. Back to you.
Uh-oh, Kathleen, things are heating up.
That's right, the fuzz is onto us. No, the parade is starting. I think, contrary to my lived experiences, I think the sirens mean that the fun's about to start and that I'm going to get interrupted a lot, which actually is very applicable to my lived experience, to be honest with you.
I'm mostly worried about the massive hearing damage that's going to be happening thanks to these sirens upon all of the children attending here today.
Ooh, and speaking of people who don't care about safety, let's go down to our man on the street.
Thanks, everyone. If a stranger handed me candy, I'd probably eat it. I don't even think I would check to see if the wrapper was intact. At this point in my life, what's it gonna do to me? Or you? Back to you.
Ooh, old-timey sirens.
I love me a good wailing siren, Kathleen, and these trucks are polished and painted to the nines.
That's a 1952 Kenworth, as the helpful sticker on the side has informed me.
I'm guessing that's pretty close to the vintage of those people piloting these trucks themselves.
Well, I'd say that's actually quite a conservative estimate for Oak Bay, but you know what? I'm sure many people will find that flattering. Speaking of people who like to be flattered, let's go down to the street.
I have a headache for some weird reason. Back to you.
Ian, do you hear that drone in the distance? Do you know what that means?
Kathleen, could it be time for the triumphant return of step-based music?
That's right, Ian. It's the Oak Bay High Marching Band, rendering the hits of today, yesterday, and our grandparents' days reasonably well, yet still not really able to be made out.
It's like a radio station that the police have cordoned off. Well, the floor routines are back, but the concrete is as hard as ever. Kids today are amazing.
We can only thank the phasing out of lead paint in the 1980s. Speaking of lead paint, let's go down to our man on the street. Surfing USA. Isn't it? It's Surfing USA.
It is.
Thanks, guys. This is quite cool. I didn't think we'd be seeing dancing in the streets today this soon. But I guess the war is over. Back to you.
And the drum fanfare absolutely tells us what's about to begin. That's right. It's time for a Star Wars. Damn it.
This is, I get by with a little help from my friends.
Correct. Made famous by Joe Cocker, but in fact made by Paul McCartney.
I mean, the Beatles version's pretty famous, too. Did Joe Cocker really popularize that song?
Oh, candy. She'll have yet another one. This one has dirt on it. I'll eat this one later. Back to you.
Coming up next, it's one of our local realtors. Remember, if you need to sell your home, trust the man with an incredibly old car?
Well, I mean, an incredibly old and expensive car, so you know they're working really hard for their money.
And they can afford a garage.
Guillotines. I mean, back to the street.
Thanks, my friends. Apparently, amazing bargains are to be had here on the streets as well. You can get 10% off every Sunday of something. Back to you.
I'd like to thank the Urban Grocer, not for giving out candy or anything tangible, but for giving away the information of 10% off every Tuesday.
You know what? I know that you just pay $100 and just use this as an excuse to advertise your business to a literal captive audience, but I'm going to give them a pass just because I like deals.
Something everyone can use.
Speaking of men who like deals, let's go down to our man on the street.
Thanks, good looking. If you are also a person who likes to walk along the street like all these people are doing, I recommend Shoes. Shoes. You can't eat just one. Back to you.
Coming up again, it's surprisingly competent high school band. This one from Reynolds High, the mortal enemies of Oak Bay High.
Their use of martial music over top of the pop hits of today and yesterday tells me that they mean business in their rivalry.
You'll notice that the Reynolds High School band has a lot more flags than the Oak Bay High School band. Those are, of course, deployed to confuse and enrage their enemies.
That's right, Kathleen. I believe it was Sun Tzu who said, if you can't tell who your enemy is, then you're not fighting anyone.
And speaking of not fighting anyone, hopefully, let's go down to our man on the street.
Thanks, Ian and Kathleen. I turned around for a second and Beej is gone, but I thought this would be a great chance for a coffee break. Back to you.
It's time for another one of the parade's thinly veiled advertisements. It's the Men in Kilts House Cleaning Company.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Put your hands together, then clap, then make some noise, but not too much, because you might end up startling the Arizonan rescue dog. That is their boss.
I mean, they're playing Cotton Eye Joe, so it's like appealing to my sense of nostalgia.
Well, I know where I want to go next, and that's down to the street to check in on the street team.
Woo! I'm doing what he told me to do. Put my hands together and make some noise.
Friends, if this is the future of commuting, I'm not sure that I want to leave my house anymore. Back to you.
Ooh, if you can hear those whistles and those drums, that means it's time for the third Dark Horse entrance in the Battle Royale of the bands. This is the Spectrum School Community Marching Band.
Oh, led by bandmaster Roy G. Biv himself.
Yes, a notorious war criminal who's been given a special dispensation for today's event.
Well, you know what I'm green with envy about? Not having to be on the street like our man Beej.
Thank you, people. It does boggle the mind that this municipality has this much access to all of these marching bands, and all I can do is question, what are they for? What's about to happen? Are they all posturing right now, and at the end of this procession, are we just going to see the Jets versus the Sharks versus whatever the other band is called? It terrifies me to my bones. Back to you.
Kathleen, do you think they stop playing when they round the corner because it's too difficult for the children?
Do you think they're doing it out of respect for our bit? No, clearly it's the children who are weak.
Thanks, Plink. You know, it's encouraging to see this many people out commuting with bicycles and scooters all day. I didn't realize that this is what a normal day is like here in Oak Bay. Back to you.
Well, it's an unruly mob of children with no direction whatsoever, so it must be the Oak Bay Montessori School.
That's right. And once again proving that you don't really actually need to do a lot for a parade. You just need to put a kid on a bike and you're good to go. So I think next time we cover the parade, I'll be putting my kid on a bike. And you know what? We're just going to let loose the dogs of war and coverage.
I look forward to receiving candy myself.
I look forward to being told we're disinvited from the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade. But speaking of people who are probably going to be disinvited for the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade, let's go back to our man on the street.
Friends, I have dire news. The moorings have broken and now we're seeing boats in the middle of the street. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's moving without any sort of engine, almost under its own power. Truly, these are the end times. Back to you.
Oh my gosh, it's back again. It's the Shriner's Cursed Train.
Who says that rail has no hope here on Vancouver Island?
I keep advocating for more trains here in Victoria, but I don't think this is a good enough option. Back to you.
Do you think that Shriner's clowns are, like, legally required to register their eggs?
I was just about to ask if they would show us your egg.
No response. You heard it here first. The Shriners, unwilling to show us their eggs. However, I know that if we go down to our man on the street, that is a man who's got firm opinions about eggs.
Thanks, Drem. I'm worried all over again because I keep seeing people walking by and giving candy to children, which is fine. After all, everyone seems fine with it, so I guess I should be fine with it too. But what I'm more worried about is what happens when they run out. Will the children revolt and turn upon them and chase them in the streets and tear them asunder? They all have scooters and bikes now. back to you.
And in a sort of opposite manner to how it begun, the Oak Bay Tea Party Parade has now come to an abrupt end.
That's right, Kathleen. It's a lot shorter and wetter than it has been in previous years, but that's a refreshing change of pace for most of the time here in desiccated Oak Bay.
And speaking of people who are desiccated, don't worry, because he's getting treatment for his skin condition. Let's go down to our man on the street for his closing thoughts.
All in all, a remarkable day. I didn't see anybody get hurt. I saw a lot of smiling faces and a lot of waving and a lot of people walking around with instruments in their hands. And frankly, that's a win. I have nothing else to say except I'm going to take 2 naproxen and lay down. Back to you.
Hey, Kathleen, do you need someplace to stay for the night, but you have too much money?
For the purpose of this bit, I will say yes.
Well, I'm sure there's someone else out there also who needs that, so they need to check out the Oak Bay Hotel.
That's right, the Oak Bay Beach Hotel. Widely regarded as a boondoggle of the time, but perhaps inching towards profitability now. It's very expensive.
Hello, and welcome to Get Out of My Head. We're going to play a little game here. I have 2 teams, and I'm going to be asking them questions. They are going to have 30 seconds to come up with 5 answers. Now, you'll see their backs are to each other. They don't get to talk. They don't get to look at what their teammate is doing. For every matching answer, they get 1 point. But there's a twist. If either person on the other team has a matching answer, we cross that out. And we're going to see which team is better here. Now, we're going to introduce the teams with a little bit of a test here to see how in sync they are with each other. The question, what is their team name? Go. You have 10 seconds.
I'm glad it was timed.
I can keep going. Should I draw a picture?
I almost did.
Ben and Beej, rotate and show your team name. Brand Loyalty and Beej. All right.
That's good.
Because it's our names.
of our names.
No point there.
Oh, damn.
All right. Ian and Corey, what is your team name?
Shoes Supreme.
Discovery Channel.
All right. So no teams. Got it. Perfect. All right. Anybody have any questions? We know how this works now. All right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the match game.
Wow, I'm getting flashbacks now.
You were using the boards from our old anime days.
All right. You will have 30 seconds on the clock when I'm done reading the question. The question is, name 5 things that fly but not airplanes. Go. So 5 answers, 30 seconds. I did a test of this. How many questions could I answer in under 30 seconds? And you panic. 30 seconds is not a lot of time.
No.
2, 1. All right, markers down, markers down. All right, we're gonna start with Beej. Beej, name 5 things that fly but not an airplane.
All right. Flies,
Yeah, okay.
bees, arrow, time, and zippers.
All right, good answers.
Fruit
Now
flies
let's
like a banana.
let's see if your partner matched any of these.
I got helicopter, hummingbird, bees,
Hey, bees.
fruit fly, and I panicked, so I wrote fog in 2 seconds.
That's good.
I ran out of time. We got bees and fruit fly.
I will give you flies. All right, so far you have 2 points, but again, if either Ian or Corey has either of those points are gone. All right, let's go over to Ian. Ian, what do you have?
All right, I went with autogyro,
Oh, yeah.
fish, rocket, ornithopter, and bird.
Very unique answers. Let's see what Corey had. Do we have any matches?
I have helicopter, bird, squirrel, plastic bag, and Superman.
We nailed it.
We did.
I forgot how to spell autogyro.
But you would have guessed it otherwise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we have 1 point on this side and no matches. So 2 points for your team,
Wow.
1 point for the other team.
All right.
I don't know if we have a way to keep track of that. Otherwise,
Good enough.
keep that score upstairs. Keep that score
I'll
upstairs.
make a little tally up on the top.
All right, I like that plan. I like that plan.
Same.
All right, everybody reset. Take a second. Clean your boards. Back to back. No talking, no looking, no peeking.
Can I look at Ian?
As long as it's not the
Do
board.
I have to have my eyes closed the whole time?
You can look at what you're writing. All right, let's go to question number 2 here. Name 5 things that are furry. Go. Trying to go with open-ended questions here. Do you go for the obvious answer, or do you worry that the opposing team will snipe and you'll lose the point? All right, teams, you have 10 seconds remaining. And some fantastic answers in the chat here. All right, that is time markers down. All right, we're gonna go in opposite order this time. Let's start with Corey. Corey, what are 5 things that are furry?
We got fox, Sonic, bear, mold, and it should say squirrel.
I can see that being squirrel. Okay.
Squirrel or soiree?
Maybe a sorrel.
Yeah, squirrel.
I'm a little worried about mold, but let's see what Ian has to
I
say
don't
here.
think we're gonna have any matches here because today I have Violent J's daughter, Hugh Jackman, capybara, bears, and bears.
Okay, but
you have bear?
a singular bear.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yes.
All right, I will give 1 point to the team for bear, provided, again, that neither Beej nor Ben have also answered bear. Ben,
What have you got?
what
I
are
got
5
it.
things that are furry?
Cat, beach, dog, fursuit, and my dad.
Speed your dad.
All right, Beej.
I have Sonic Fox, furaffinity.net,
Okay.
Moth, dog, and me.
Hey! Yo, we just get 2 points every time?
I will accept Beej and me as a match.
All right.
So
Would
yeah,
you accepted my dad and me?
I'll think about it. 2 points for Ben and Beej. 1 point for Ian and Corey. The score is now 4-2.
Next time, don't separate Beej's first answer into 2 lines.
I didn't fall into his traps.
Sonic.
Aren't you proud of me?
Yes.
All right, take some time to reset.
Centered. Empty your mind.
Oh,
Ian.
God damn you. Don't worry, it's always empty. That's my secret.
All right, let's put 30 seconds on the clock. Our next question is, name 5 things that are fun to ride. Go. You only got 30 seconds.
I know.
Attention players, there are 10 seconds remaining. I'm surprised we haven't had any disqualified points yet. Maybe this round will change it. Final second. All right, markers down. We're going to start with Beej. Beej, what are 5 things that are fun to ride?
Motorcycle,
Okay,
horse,
okay.
roller coaster, tilt-a-whirl, me.
Hey.
Bold choices, bold choices. Let's see if we have any matches here. Ben.
Well, I've got Eva and Eva,
Okay.
roller coaster, car, motorbike, and beach.
3 matches?
Wait a minute. They're cheating.
Okay.
Drift compatible.
Oh, yeah.
That's uncanny. All right, well, we have 3 points, unless, of course, Ian and Corey steal some of them. Ian, what are 5 things that are fun to ride?
We've got go-karts, shopping carts, motorcycles, velocipedes, and daddy. Gives good shoulder rides.
Yeah.
All right. Corey.
All right, we got bike, horse, machine horse, boat, and scooter.
Machine horse.
Machine horse.
I think we have a match.
Which one are you looking at here? Bike?
Velocipede bike, yeah.
What? Sorry, what is a velocipede?
It's a
Bicycle.
It's a bicycle.
It is a bike.
Who calls it a velocipede?
Ian.
People who don't own e-bikes.
I would also say you probably have a point for mechanical horse and motorcycle.
Yeah, but you have motorbike.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
that
So
cancels
yeah, that's
that.
deleted.
Motorbike is just off the table. No
Yeah.
fun for anyone.
Yeah.
So it is worth mentioning, yeah, you had a point previously from motorcycle. No, there would be no point because the other team had it, so that is crossed out. We will be giving 1 point to Ian and Corey, so we're going to be scoring this round 3 points.
They're
We lose motorcycle as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have 2 points and they have 1 point.
Fantastic. I actually have to read it out of the monitor.
Do you want to come do this part? I can keep track of the points.
No,
if
no,
you
no.
want.
Hey, who's got the blazer? Who's got the blazer?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, 2-1, 3-6. We're having a very good time. We're going to go to our final round here. This was previously prepared
This is the final round?
as a tiebreaker. I thought this was going to go slower. You guys are flying through it.
Well, you timed us at 30 seconds per round.
What if we got to write more than 5 things?
There was a very definitive amount of
I
time
know,
this could
I
have
did.
taken, sir.
What if we just write until we run out of things?
You know what? You know what? Sure. Let's bonus
and
round for
we
last
got
one here.
more.
You still only have 30
Sure,
seconds.
sure.
You still only have 30 seconds, but we'll write more. That'll make the math harder, okay?
Great.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
At most, this could have taken surplus of 2.5 minutes.
Should have respected the banter. All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
The final question. Name 5 things that are hard. Go. Very open-ended. A lot of things this could be.
Capital.
Brand new category here. But only 10 seconds remaining. How many answers can they get? 5 things that are hard. Final second. Put your markers down. Was that one more challenging?
Yes.
I just wrote 5.
Yeah, I got 4.
I could only get 5. I tried my hardest.
All right. Well, we're going to start it with Corey. You were asked to name 5 things that are hard.
Okay, so
What did you write down?
I've got everyone in the room except Paul. Then ice, stone, hammers, and diamond.
Going for a lot of physical things.
Good call. Good call.
Ian, are there any matches?
I don't think so. Maybe. I've got math,
Ice!
Ice Cube,
Oh, the person.
yeah,
Oh,
Moe's
never mind.
Scale, and Laguna Seca.
Now, if you hadn't specified that you were thinking of Ice Cube the human as opposed to just Ice Cube, I would have given you the point.
Rightfully so. But I did correct this from a lowercase ice cube to an uppercase ice cube. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed, but appreciate the honesty.
I love Laguna Seca.
It's got the dip!
Yeah.
Corkscrew is not fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's just hard.
What is the Laguna Sea? What is it?
It's my second favorite racetrack after the Cirque du Sarthe.
I think is it Mazda's test track?
It is.
Yeah.
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 No points. Ben, 5 things that are hard.
I've got carrot, knees, math, taxes, and beach.
Now Corey did sabotage Beach this time.
Exactly.
All right, so you went for some more concepts here. Okay. Let's see if you and Beej are on the same page. Beej.
The G in GIF.
Nice.
Did you spend like the first 20 seconds thinking of that one?
That was immediate.
Fantastic. All right.
Sapphire is hard. Diamond, which of course matched inside. Just rock in general, and then prisoner.
Those are good.
Yeah.
You didn't even put beach.
No.
So it wouldn't have mattered.
Exactly.
I'm just excited to see Beach's new spec script for the new Steven Universe.
Yes.
Apparently this round was too hard for both teams. No points.
Oh.
We should have written more categories for this. This is really fun.
What is this we, Kimusabe? You're the one in the blazer.
Yeah.
You know what? Always leave them wanting more.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. This has been Get Out of My Head, which hopefully we'll bring back because this is fun and we can have more content for it. But in the meantime, enjoy these highlights.
We had the most points.
Winners.
No, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't
Just
matter.
ignore it.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go ahead.
If by chance the YouTube apocalypse has actually happened, welcome Pornhub viewers. You are valid and we see you.
Yeah, all right, sure, why not?
I hope I'm seeing you.
I don't want to see you, but I will say it's still a valid choice.
What are we playing today, Heather? Welcome to the new people. The knocking engine is normal, and yes, that is a Kirby car. Le Mans 2022.
Una, how we doing there on the geography lesson?
So Victoria, BC is at 48.4. Sheffield, UK is at 53.3.
Oh. Wait, what's the difference?
How many kilometers in a northern thingy?
Yeah, how actually I don't actually know what is the difference between 49 and 50?
1.
Yeah, I deserve that one.
There.
Yeah, I absolutely deserve that one.
Okay. No fear!
Yeah! I did it!
You're free.
Yeah, I'm free!
Ooh, it is kind of looking Homer-y, yeah!
No, not Homer! Not Homer! No! I wanted him to be hot, not a dad.
Paul, can you get the sensor ready?
Yeah.
They said they drew this one with very fuckable thighs.
Yeah.
And that was his only comment.
Yeah, looking like a dugong out there.
Yeah, that is thick like a dugong. Holy.
I hate how much I'm actually managing to make this guy look cute.
You've fallen into my trap.
Look at his precious eyes. How can you hate this man?
I know I can't.
Look, if you're wondering why Saab left the automobile production industry, it's because I used all the engines. They're just gone. They're all mine. And I grind them to dust to make my bread. Fee, fi, fo, fum.
I'm going to digivolve my Pagumon to Gabumon.
Great. So that cost you 0. Didn't cost you a damn thing. You get to draw a card.
It was near impossible to keep a straight face. I'm gonna digivolve my Pagumon into Gabumon.
You're right. You're right.
It sounds like I was Truman.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It sounds much better than when you say, "I'm gonna murder your Asmerata Mardica Dicestina Koldakar."
At least that's got some art to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Mishra's Bubble, my Dragon's Rage channeler shall trigger. I'll bin a lightning bolt. Consider.
Hey! It's our girl!
I also may have put on a bunch of the costume stuff that we tend to like.
Ah, good. She's not Hatsune Miku to me unless she is in fact out of Duckburg.
Herringbone, you say?
Shame if something was
Shame if something were to happen to your herringbone.
Look at these little buddies.
You could say it's a real lemon party.
No. Inappropriate.
Yeah, all right.
I guess
we'll. Whoa! Oh, wow! That is even worse than I expected.
What?
Oh, it got better.
Holy shit! I have never heard the first adjective to describe a game in a press release as full priced. That's the situation we live in now, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first thing you hear about a game. This game is going to be a full priced game.
I just remembered why there's no rain on the track. And
Did you turn the wet off?
No, here's your dystopian statement of the week. Rain is only available to paying beta customers via the Discord server.
Wow, what a futuristic sentence you just said.
Oh, I should have tried this earlier. Yep. Oh, I'm fucked. but not for the reason you'd expect. Makes sense. I figured that would happen, but I was like, well, gotta give it a shot.
I wanna poop in a toilet outside. You and me could have a man's romance. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, wiping afterwards. Whoa, 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 whoa. Caught in that man's romance.
There's stuff like an enemy called the Neo-Tyrannosaurus.
The new Tyrannosaurus.
He has really long arms.
They're still really skinny, so they're like noodle arms.
God, I hope that the new Jurassic World movie was like, we've re-engineered the T-Rex and now it has gigantic arms. It's like, what? They're huge and muscular and so vascular.
What's going on in here?
Right click attack all.
Swing out, you've got Castle Ember.
James told me that there was an 84% chance that he could crush a watermelon between his thighs.
Between his thighs?
Yeah.
What's he working with?
84%.
I shit, you coward.
Hold on! We're magic, man.
Doesn't matter. That's unimportant.
I can't stop to crush a watermelon between my thighs because I'm playing Magic. It's the weakest shit I've heard in my life.
You want to take your pants off?
Why would I take my pants off?
Are you gonna lock your legs?
I feel like that'll be less embarrassing than what's about to transpire.
I'm gonna smash cut to Paul asking why the APC has been shattered by a watermelon.
Here we go!
Yeah. Hook your feet together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Closer to the crotch. Use physics.
No, yeah, there you go.
Now, because this is green screened, if you want, you could put your head in between James's thighs.
Oh god, yeah, key out the watermelon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out. Oh, we found the 15%.
14%.
14. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Break. Downshift. Oh no. Oh no, I did the thing. Oh, I broke our Fabergé engine. I shouldn't have downshifted when the revs were so high. Ah. Okay. Okay. I have crashed in more or less the same spot again. We're gonna be here a while.
I'm gonna be real upset if this actually works. I don't want watermelon. Just Gloomhaven.
Just play Gloomhaven in your underwear. Or you can wrap a tarp around you.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, let's go! I loosened it! Let's go! I'm so glad I came in for this! Ow, my ass!
It vibrates when you're about to fall. I figured it out. There is a vibration. You're about to run out of stamina.
Ow, my ass!
Right on her coccyx! That's your tail?
Yeah, I know what it is. Nobody ever says that word out loud.
Sure they do.
Ah, my coccyx.
Beej would absolutely yell that if he landed on his butt.
Beej is not a normal human.
Ian would say it too.
Ian, also bad example.
Oh, cool.
What? What is
Gun!
A gun.
Oh, cool.
And
Well.
code.
A code.
Oh, hey, that's the important part.
It's for the gun.
To unlock it.
Yeah.
Also, if any of you complain, I'll put you between my. No, actually, you know what? No. I regret that immediately.
We're all making mistakes tonight.
Yeah, we're all screwed up. Can we roll that one back? Can we?
Yeah, just cut that one out.
Yeah, boards. Yeah. Paul, can you edit that one out? Yeah.
Yeah.
What the? Are you?
Wow! Wait. Just let her. You're being absolutely styled on.
Yeah. Oh man.
Obama snow. Uh-oh.
If you can help locate them and return them to me, I'll share what I know about your parents. Sound like a deal?
Ugh, fine. Just don't get killed while I'm gone, okay?
Look at the size of that cannon. Oh, what's that?
This must be one of the flash drives Ibrahim was talking about.
Look at this thing. That's so weird. Minecraft is weird, and by Minecraft I mean people who mod Minecraft are weird.
All right, one of us is the fisherman's wife. Which is it?
Look, let me tell you, when I come back from the deep, I am not opening any boxes.
Who hasn't wanted to eat a stack of poker chips when you see them on the table?
Right? Oh, the sound of them.
Oh my god! Found my people.
Especially if we're talking the clay poker chips. That have that weight and that texture.
Of course.
How come everybody in New Shinjuku has regional American accents?
Drop your weapon, slide them over here.
Okay, sorry.
Kaylee, don't.
My bad.
No, I can take these guys.
Regional accents.
I don't have to do much. Uh-oh. Okay, which criminal was responsible for this? Take a wild guess.
I mean, that's already kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me. That's a good joke.
Blimp.
Try blimp.
Corey, I think.
Oh, you thought I was fucking playing or something?
I think they may be motivated.
I'm sensing some aggression.
We'll bomb some dongos. I can't wait to do that. But little Lord Tingles still got baby fat.
He's in his 50s at least.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work to maintain a body like that, Corey.
Hey, look, it's hopping on my head.
Actually, if you get it looks charge. That hurt it.
I don't have thorns.
That hurt it. It took 1 heart of damage.
I don't have thorns.
You hit it?
I have thorns.
You hit it with a submarine, maybe. That's the problem.
No, I have thorns too.
Oh, okay.
I know he was excited to see it.
Hello.
Too close. The question I had at that point that occurred to me was, are Shriners really technically clowns in the sense that they have their egg? Yes.
Do you think Shriners trademark their clown makeup?
I wonder if a Shriner has to have an egg.
I can't believe that you've asked me this because I have the clown egg register in hardback next to me right now, so I can look up if there are any Shriners in here if you would like.
This feels very like.
I'm away. Yeah! I'm still here.
How?
No, you're not.
I'm okay.
All right, let's try this again.
All right, Pilgrim's Eye to the mold folk.
Yeah, I got a plus one right here.
Whatever.
I love both of you. No, I know. It was so Canadian of both of you reaching to get something, realizing the other person had me covered, and then going, oh, well, and then in the end I end up with nothing.
My work here is done.
Yeah.
I moved it closer to you.
Good job, eh?
Back to the pits. Do not restart session. That was almost a mistake. What the?
Ooh, okay. Okay. Well,
maybe the real truck was the friends we made along the way.
507 seconds.
Stuck in a mirror, smoke weed for life. Like, what? Like, I don't know.
Is that's your share zone? Stuck in a mirror, smoke weed for life.
I think that's great.
I tried to be edgy. What do you want from me?
Man. I loved it.
Well, here we go! Hey! We're home! We did it! We got through all of the 24 hours of Le Mans! Hooray for us! Look at all of our celebration here. Ah! Woo! Woo! Ah!
Welcome back. You're joining us for Hot Pepper Poetry, the contest, I guess. It's really just an opportunity for us to enjoy each other's company and watch people freak the hell out, because they'll be showing off. Well, let's have a look. It's a contest of poetry and taste and elegance and hot peppers while you do all this good stuff. So, yeah, how would you summarize this then, Serge?
Art is something that can be faked. So we're taking away their ability to fake art by making them eat chilies, and then the purest form of art will emerge, and we're going to evaluate them on that.
Yeah, you can't have good art without suffering, and we get to see all the suffering on their faces
We
today.
sure do.
Our contestants are Ben and Corey and Ian, and we're actually starting with Ian first. So Ian, if you've got a pepper and you've got some poetry, lay it on us.
I do. I'd like to present to you all today an excerpt from the Aomori, as portrayed by Oda Nobunaga from the drama The Knife and the Sword. Right, and I have a habanero, which is a habanero. Ningen 50年一点のうちを比べれば夢幻のごとくなりひとし旅せ終えてめってつぬもののあるべきか Thank you.
Get this man some yogurt. Beach, what did you think?
I'm gonna rate that Samui.
So.
I think we're on the same page here. I went with Nihon. Well done.
Well done, Ian.
Uncle.
Corey.
Okay, so last time I ate a pepper on stream, I inhaled a bunch of the seeds and I wasn't able to really perform it, so I got some Scotch bonnet sauce and a little cup of that to drink. And then I'm going to perform the reading of a poem called A Candidate for a Pulitzer Prize. Why have I done this? Okay. Oh, times. Oh. I have a spell checker. It came with my PC. It plainly marks for my review mistakes I cannot see. I read this poem through it. You're sure real glad to know. It's very polished in its way. My checker told me so. A checker is a blessing. It frees you loads of time. It helps me write all styles to read and aids me when I rhyme. Each phrase comes posed up on my screen. I trust to be a jewel. The checker pores over every word to check some spelling rule. Before availing checkers, our spelling might decline, and if we're lax or I have lapsed, we would be made to whine. But now, because my spelling is checked with such great flair, there are no faults in my sight, of none I am aware. No spelling does not faze me, it does not bring me a tear. My papers all do gladden, with wrapped words fair as fear. To write with care is quite a feat, of which one would to be proud. We must do best we can, so flaws are not allowed. Oh, it's more. You can see why I do praise such software for PCs and why I break into a verse by writing what to please.
Correct.
Get that yogurt. Get that yogurt. Beach.
Yes. I'm gonna give you a great.
Excellent. And for that cup of hot sauce, cup.
This is garbage.
I don't understand.
I'm not really good with poetry. Ben!
Yes.
You're our last victim.
I am.
Presenter.
Yes, I've got a
Victim
nice
presenter.
poem. I also have a habanero.
Where's the last spoon?
You took the bit dirty spoon. Those are the clean
I
ones.
took Ian's spoon.
It's okay.
That's
That's
all right.
where you have been before.
But I don't want mine to be the same as the other two, so
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
oh, he's gonna get bonus points for that.
X2 Scovilles.
there we are. My poem is called The Cookie Thief. Oh, that was... A woman was waiting at an airport one night. Goodbye.
It's my favorite
Oh,
poem.
please. I'm begging you, man. A woman... No, bring it back. No, I missed my spot. Oh, Paul. Jesus. Paul, bring it back down. Okay, now go. A woman was waiting at an airport one night. It was several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two, put the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene.
Nice.
She munched the cookies and watched the clock as the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes passed by, thinking if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie... I'm crying. With each cookie he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half.
I missed my spot.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
He offered her half.
He offered her half. As he ate the other, she snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother. This guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here! She moaned in despair. The others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. The habanero would have been enough.
Get some yogurt. Get some yogurt.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can do that now. Spoon up by the dog.
You know, by the end of the poetry, I'm actually okay now.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Beach?
Well, then I will give you a cookie for that.
Wow.
Thank God.
Bold. Most importantly, coordination and recovery are the words that I have to describe that performance right there. That was fantastic.
I would rate that one Slim Jim for your fantastic, oh brother.
Oh brother.
Oh brother.
It brought a tear to my eye, or probably still just processing the sauce.
I had to keep the tears out of my eye because they burn now.
I'm lost in the sauce, man. Oh, God. Well, everybody, that was the show. Thank you so much.
But before you go...
Thank you so much for tuning on in. We super appreciate it. And now, this.
Great show, everybody. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Although it ran a little long, so it's past everyone's bedtime.
Oh.
Come on. Sweet dreams, Ian. You've got 5,000 more seconds.
Vroom vroom.
Night, Paul. Night, Kathleen. Here's some water for you.
But I'm not tired.
See you in the morning.
We live together. Why am I doing this?
Sweet dreams. Happy punching. Aw, someone's dream editing again. We don't pay you for that time.
Cranburger with a 40-minute sub. Thanks. We're back.
Charge the controller and yourself. Night night. Night, everybody. See you tomorrow.